So I'm starting off with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Lorna's skin is on the oily side, so I just want to make sure that it's all the oil is kept at bay and we're setting the base for the foundation. To prime the lids, I'm using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. So again, because your skin is a bit more on the oily side, I do like the soft ochre paint pot or any of the paint pots to prime lids that will get a bit oily throughout the day. So I'm just putting this all over and then I will set it with powder. And the powder I'm using is the e.l.f. finishing powder, and I think I'm using it in the light, fair to light colour. I'm just using the beauty blender there just to make sure there's no creases. So now I'm going to go on to brows, and I'm using the Brow Setting Gel by Benefit, and I'm just going to make sure all the brow hairs are combed upwards, and then I'll go in with Precisely My Brow and I'll just fill in any gaps. I'm not overshaping the brows or anything like that. She already has really good brows, so I'm just basically filling in any sparse hairs, and I will just give the brow a little bit of a tail just to elongate the brow. And then I'll go in with Gimme Brow after that, just to kind of add a bit of colour to the brow. And yeah. So I'm just carving out the brow, and I just popped a little bit of concealer on my brush, and I'll just carve them out on the bottom and on the top, and this just makes them look really perfect and really shaped. So I'm going to use the Smashbox Matte Exposure Palette for the eye look, and I'm just keeping this eye look really neutral. I'm just using a light brown first, and then I'll darken it up with a dark brown on the outer corner. So Lorna's eye is an almond shaped eye, so she's got quite big eyes and elongated eyes, if you know what I mean. So I don't want the makeup to look too crazy, because with her eye shape, makeup can look mega crazy really fast. So I just kept it really simple, and I just kept the colour on the outer part of the eye. So as you can see, I'm just blending it all on the outer part, and then when the colour gets darker, I bring it down towards the lash line. So I'm using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm using the shimmer shadow Primavera. It's the gold shimmer from the palette, and I'm using this in the inner part of the eye and blending it into the shadows, the Smashbox shadows. And I just think this gives such a nice look to the eye. It catches the light really nicely. So I'm just building this up, and then I'm going to use a little white shimmer in the inner corners and under the brow, and this is also from the Anastasia palette. And I'm just darkening up the shadow on the outer part of the eye there again, just making sure the blend is all nice. Next up is eyeliner, and I'm using a Maybelline gel liner for this. I mixed a little bit of Duraline with the eyeliner just to make it really easy to work with. My camera failed me during this part of the video, so you don't get to see all of the liner being added to the eye, so sorry about that. But yeah, I just winged it out in the end. And then I'm going in with the Luna pigment shadow, in Rose Quartz, and I'm putting this over the shimmer shadow just for an extra bit of shimmer and glitter, and it just looks so pretty, especially when you can see it in the light. It just adds a bit of glam to the look. So for foundation, I always test the foundation on the chest instead of the neck. She has more color there, so it just always works out better when it matches the chest area. So Lorna is a bit more tanned at the moment compared to her face, so I went a little bit darker with her foundation, and I'm using the Lancome Teint Idole foundation. It's really good for people who are a bit oilier. It's very long lasting, and her skin loved it. It went on so easily, and I'm just using a Real Technique sponge, and I dampened it, and I'm just pushing the foundation into her skin and just blending it really well. So I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Define concealer in shade C2. This concealer is amazing for the price. I think it's like €7. It's really hydrating. It doesn't kind of get cakey under the eye. It's light, but it still has good coverage. So yeah, I'm just making sure all the dark shadows and any imperfections are concealed. So then I went in with the same concealer but in C8 to conceal any imperfections and any blemishes that the foundation didn't cover. So that's basically what I'm doing right there. And now I'm just going to set the skin with the e.l.f. finishing powder in light to fair. So I'm not setting it everywhere, just where I feel it's needed. Lorna is looking really happy about this part, but I'm contouring or bronzing up her skin, just the perimeter of her face, with the MAC Studio Skin Powder in medium dark. And I'm just going around the perimeter and just making sure we're defining certain areas. So I'm using the NARS loose powder to slightly bake. I won't leave it on for too long, but I'm just using it to make that contour pop, and I'll bake a little bit under the eyes. Lorna needs her makeup to last all day today, so yeah, I'm gonna bake under the eyes, but I just leave it on for like literally a second and then I'll wipe it away. So I'm not baking for that long at all really. And when I've wiped it away, I'll then spray my sponge with a setting spray, and I'll tap the sponge onto her skin, and that'll get rid of all the powdery residue. For highlight, I'm going in with the Benefit Dandelion Twinkle. I love this highlight for like a soft highlight. It's perfect for her skin tone as well. And I'm just going to put this on all the high points of her face and her cupid's bow, down the center of her nose, and yeah, the usual places that you would highlight. So I'm using Peaches Blush by Push Makeup Air. This is a gorgeous blush. It's still sort of on the kind of brown tone side, but it just adds a lovely flush of colour without being an obvious blush, if you know what I mean. Now I'm just going to bring everything that was on the top of the eye down underneath, and I'm using the Smashbox palette for this. So I'm just kind of smoking out the lower lash line, but not too much. I'm just still keeping it quite natural. So I'm using this kohl pencil called Bubbly by Smashbox for the waterline, and I love this colour because it's a nude shade. It's not white and it's got a bit of a shimmer to it. So I'm just curling her lashes. She hates this part, but I think she did quite good. Look at her go. Simple, done. And then I'm just topping up any liner that the lash curler took off, and I'm just using the Always On liner by Smashbox. And then we're going in with mascara. So don't worry, this is her own mascara, that's why I'm using it directly from the tube. This is the Full Exposure mascara by Smashbox. Gorgeous mascara for basically for just defining the lashes and making them very voluminous without it being clumpy or drying the lashes. They don't stick together either. So because she didn't want falsies today, we went in with a lot of mascara. So I'm defining them quite a bit, and I'm going in with the tip of the brush a lot because this really defines the lashes better than if you go in on the side of the brush. So if you use the tip of the brush, you just get more definition for each lash. So I'm defining her lips with the Clarins lip liner in number 2. I think it's nude beige. And then I'm going in with a Rimmel liquid lipstick. Can't remember the name, but it's like a peachy colour. I'll leave the name down below when I find it. So I'm just popping this on, and then I'll go in with a little bit of gloss over the top, and I think I'm going to use the ColourPop Contessa gloss. Again, I will just check all the names that I've mentioned in the video, and I'll leave them down below so that you can check them out. I just love this colour. It's so soft, it's so pretty, still looks nice in photos. You know, you can still see there's a bit of colour there, but it's not too crazy, you know. Still a nice glam soft look. And that is the finished look, guys. I hope you liked it. It's just a soft glam look. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you the next time. Bye guys.